Greetings from Constance. We're here in the Plane of Knowledge, and today we're going to have some fun with faction. So the first thing we're going to do, because I've been spending some time in Vexar, and I've been collecting all these weapons, I was thinking to myself, let's see if we can get Crusaders of Green Mist faction up sufficiently high that I'm not going to be attacked. So I've got a whole bunch of bone chips here. And I've got a whole bunch of these Vexar weapons. And what I wanted to cover is this faction pot. So what you do is look under potions. Or what you could do is you type the word faction. Boom. So you have you have really two types of faction potions. There's this double faction, which doubles the faction for both quest rewards, like hand-ins and stuff, but also, say, for example, if you kill a Froglog in Sebelis and you get Froglogs of Guck faction, it, like, doubles that. But there's this other potion that locks your faction. So, in other words, you can kill all the Froglogs and Guck you want, and it won't affect your faction at all. So, it's essentially, you're free to kill whoever you want with no faction loss. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this double faction pot. So buy now. It cost me $270 with the Daybreak membership. Alright. Now, the only other thing is, if I wanted to do the quests in Cabalus, or if I wanted to do the quests in Cabalus, right, I could race change to an Ixar, and I could become an Ixar monk. So if we look at race, there's a race change scroll that cost me 2,500. So I'm free to change my race, still be a monk. But you know, I think what we could do is double our faction, and as a human, do some turn-in quests, and at least get to indifferent. And it's like, well, why would you want to do that? Are there any real quests that you want to do in Sebelis? Well, there might be. Let's see. Or Cabalus, rather. Let's see. New Sebelis is Cabalus, right? But yeah, so why would you want to do quests there? Well, yeah, I gotta go to Vexar first here. Well, there's an Ixar only epic item, Epic 1.0, called the Whistling Fists. So, you know, monks, they have two epics. The human epic called the Celestial Fists, and then the Ixar monk epic called the Whistling Fists. So that's a cool thing with the Ixar. They have their own line of epics. So there's an Ixar Shadow Knight epic called Green Mist, which is a sword. Then there's a Shaman Skull quest, it's like a cudgel. It's called the Cudgel quest. And then there's also the Whistling Fist for monks, and that casts Jonathan Whistling's War Song. This current one that I have is called Celestial Tranquility. So more or less, it does similar things. But yeah, really, I'm doing it for no other reason than doing it. And we stop and think about this game and why we play Everquest, and you know, just start, you know, question the motivations of the players. Me personally, the only reason I play this game is the only reasons I play this game are for nostalgia, content, and friendships. So those are the main things. I don't really play to get the best gear. I don't really play to be challenged. You know, I'm not looking for a challenge. I'm looking mainly to go through the content, the role-playing aspect of it, the friends that you meet. I get to hang out with my buds, and you know, these types of quests that are interesting doing. You know, it's a lot like reading a book the second or third time through. You know, Everquest to me is it's like reading a really good book or playing a good Dungeons & Dragons dungeon. Of course, we know how Chamber of Horrors is going to end up, the old Gary Gygax dungeon, we know exactly what to do. So really, it comes down to like, you know, your random number generator. So you know, it's kind of fun, and there's different ways to do it. I mean, you could do it as a monk, you could do it as a rogue, you could do it as a cleric, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn in these weapons, and so we're going to find the turn-in mob. So my last video, or the video before last, we went to Vexar, and basically these weapons could drop off anything. It can drop off the blood gills, it can drop off the golems in Vexar, it can drop off the undead Ixar that are there. I think they can even drop off the live Ixar. But they're essentially these Veskar weapons that drop. And so you find this guy, Cyric Iceblood, who's a quest NPC out here. There he is. He's wearing monk outfit. And I got to make sure that... boom, dismount. I'm going to drink this potion first. So the double faction potion. So this should double the faction for quest rewards or quest turn-ins. All right, so he needs 4 of a kind. All right, so I got 40. So I got 40 with him, but also Legion of Cabalus, Residents, Scaled Mystics, Crusaders of Green Mist, and the Swift Tails. I'm really concerned with the Swift Tails, so I need 170 to get to Threatening. Alrighty. So hand him 4 of these hammers. And, you know, the clock is ticking, so, you know, what I could do is I could log on Everquest Footpad, and, let's see, where are we? 10 to Threatening. I could log on Everquest Footpad and have him hunt these items for me. Probably be a lot more efficient to do it that way. Alright, we're officially Threatening. A little cheaper than... give. Alright, we are now 180 to Dubious. Alrighty. So another thing we've got about 1,000 bone chips, 1,052. This is going to be a little trickier to pull off because I'm still Threatening with Crusaders of Green Mist. If we look under Legion of Cabalus, Amiable. So the guards are on Legion of Cabalus faction. But there are Crusaders of Green Mist that are at the gates of Cabalus. So what we're going to do, we got to be real careful. So, I mean, technically I could run into Cabalus with a faction pot, but I'm not going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to run back to Phronavai, take the book back, and go to the Cabalus port, and see if I can get these bone chips turned in enough time so that the Crusader that paths back and forth doesn't see me. So we're going to forward this video, and we'll be right back. Okay, here we are in the Field of Bone. Alright, so we're going to invis pod up, and so got to be really careful around these guards. So basically what we're looking for is a Crusader. Probably it would be a better idea to have an enchanter project illusion on me, to make me appear as though I'm an Ixar. Now, there's a Crusader of Green Mist right there, so he's pathing away, Crusader Quarg. So we're going to just wait for him to path. And the turn-in mob, these guys, these troopers, they are on the Legion of Cabalus faction. So let's make sure he gets on that path. And these guys run with like full bard speed. They are insane. So let's take all these bone chips Just hand it to him. Here. Give. Give. Alright, let's see where we are now. Crusaders of Green Mist. We are now dubious. Sweet. Okay. Nice. So he shouldn't attack me. But I can't do... Trooper kindly considers. Okay. Okay, here we are back outside the door. I got another 700 bone chips. Let's go ahead and hand this to the dude. Trooper Mozo. Hey, Trooper. Alright, let's see where we are now. The Swifttails. Now consider me amiable. Cool. So now I don't have to race change. So, I mean, you know, what was that? Like 1,700 bone chips and what, some hand-ins. So, yeah, and so 1,700 bone chips, about 7 or 8 hand-ins from Vexar, and the double faction potion. There are events sometimes where I think you can get double the faction just as part of an event, and when you combine that with a regular potion, you can get, I think, quadruple the faction. So that's super nice. But yeah, so now I can hang out. These Ixar are my buds, man. I can hang out with them. You know, we can, you know, we could discuss, you know, philosophy. So yeah, so it's cool. Now I can go to Cabalus and do all the quest lines here. So I'm gonna go. Okay, so here we are, the Court of Pain. Here's my buddy Crusader Reddick, and what you do when you're a human and you just got to, you know, at least in different faction with the Ixar monks here. These are the Swifttails. You're gonna find this young lady, Master Nixa or Niska. Hail her, and she bows at you, and basically you say, quote, "I do not have a bracer." Okay, so she's like, "You idiot." So you get this book called A Ragged Book. Great reading, by the way. I think you should read this. Very, very good. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take this book to Toil Master, and you're going to do this quest called the Penance. It's kind of a pain in the derriere, but we got to do it. And essentially what you are at this stage is you're a level 1 Ixar monk that threw out his starting item. Okay? And so you're doing the penance to get it back, basically. So you hail, here's the Toil Master, and here are his frog logs. So you hail him, and you give him this book. Boom. Okay. Then he gives you the rights of exoneration. You got to take this to another guy. We'll be right back. Okay, we do have some footage missing, because in addition to getting the rights of exoneration, you also have to get this hammer of exoneration. You need this to proc several times. Each time it procs, it's going to create a bone shard, and then you're going to combine those bone shard into this powdered bone in this mortar and pestle. You get this mortar and pestle from a guy in West Cabalus, near the Necromancer Guild, and I do have some video of that without any sound. So I'll show that next. So in order to get this hammer to proc, you got to find a mob with a whole bunch of hit points, or what I do is I just duel somebody. So I'm just going to duel Charlie here. There he is. And get off my high horse here. Make sure. All we really have to do with Charlie is just make sure we heal him. And then after I'm done, I'll just zone it and call off the duel. So what we're going to do is Charlie's going to hit an elixir. Boom. And you click /D. I've been challenged to a duel to the death, so I hit /D. I've accepted the challenge and just start beating on him. Okay, and then I guess he can fight back if he wants. Yeah. Okay, so you need this thing to proc a whole bunch of times with this bone shatter. There it did, it procced. So what you're going to do is place the bone shards into this mortar and pestle. Alright, and all Charlie needs to do, we just need to watch Charlie's health. That's all we need to do. Let's close all these other bags here. I guess we could watch our own health. I'm not sure it's going to really drive up my defensive skill or anything like that. But yeah. So basically you need this bone shatter to proc. So make sure you have some haste on yourself. Looks like Spider's Bite is proccing. Charlie's doing okay. I'm gonna hit him with a heal just to be on the safe side. Right, so this needs to proc a whole bunch of times. So we're gonna sit here and fight my box until I get all these bone shards. So you make all these bone shards, okay, and then you combine them to make this powdered bone in this bag, and you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 powdered bone, and this one flask of blood water. You combine all those powdered bones in a flask of blood water. That is purchased in the trader area in East Kabalis. I can show you where to get that. And so yeah, we're just working the penance here, and main thing is just watch health here. I can mend. And so yeah, you just keep doing this, and I'll go ahead and continue this all the way through. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this through making the single powdered bone there. Boom. So now we need to do this 5 more times. So it takes a while. So we'll come back. Got one more bone chip here. We'll stop fighting. Okay, done. Hey, alrighty, so we're calling off the fight. Charlie is running like a chicken. Goodbye, Charlie. Bye. Okay, so now you have these powdered bones and this flask of blood water. Combine that, and then you get this filled penance bag. So now I need to give this to Master Niska. Can't even talk. Okay, so what do we have to do? You have to get the mortar and pestle from this dude in West Kabalis by the Necromancer Guild. You need to get this hammer, this crappy hammer, from the Toil Master, as well as this book. Right? And so yeah, that's how you do. And then I don't even think you can read this. Oh yeah, there's the book. Yeah. Yeah. Great reading. So now what we do is we head back in to East Kabalis, and we finish the penance. And then you can get the bracer, the starting bracer for Ixar monks. So then we can start the Ixar monk epic quest, which is called the Shackle quest. So I think you have to collect something like 6 or 7 shackles. And, that quest has been discussed all the way up to the Shackle of Timonium. So I felt like I would do the Penance quest, and then do all the shackles all the way up to the Shackle of Timonium, and then I'll take over there, because I don't think that has been covered yet. Let's go ahead and get all my stuff. Let's just get some real weapons in my hands. Okay. It's weird the Toil Master's not up. I don't think he's always up. Alright, so we're going to find Master Niska. This is so awesome being a human. So I think in the end, when you think about like the faction potion, as cheap as that costs, plus the amount of money I spent on those bone chips, it's much less of a sacrifice than buying a race change scroll. All right, let's do the turn-in. Let's make sure I have all the items, and I'll do the turn-in. Okay, here it goes. I just wanted to read up on that because these old school quests have a tendency, these quest NPCs have a tendency to eat all your items. Okay, you should hand her the book and the bag. There you go. I was freaking out. Yeah, so they have a tendency to eat all your items. Okay, so that right there got me 200 faction with the Swifttails, so I'm amiable with them. So now I have my Shackle of Dust. Alright, so I'm essentially like a level 1 Ixar monk. Hooray! Couple things. There are some monks right outside the Necromancer Guild. So if you look under Reaction, and I'm not sure what faction they're on, if you look under Scaled Mystics, which is the Necromancer Guild, I'm amiable. But there's some monks outside that Necromancer Guild that will attack me on sight. So just because I'm cool with more or less all the Ixar here, there are some factions within Cabalist that will still attack me. So you still might have to feign death. With respect to the bankers, I should be able to bank. Yeah, I can bank here. With respect to the vendors, okay, amiable. Yeah, I can trade. Let's go ahead and show you where that flask of blood water is, and I can also show you where that mortar and pestle mob is. So we already saw where the Toil Master was. Let's go ahead and put this in. Boom, Regal Warg. Alright, and so he... Oopsie. Oh, that's always good. Don't you love you how you can climb stairs when you're mounted? Alright, so here's Clock Emphemere. When you right-click him, in addition to having Beetle Bake and a bladder of lizard milk, he also has this flask of blood water. You only need one of those. And then I'll show you West Cabalist, and I'll also show you those kill-on-sight monks that are near the Necromancer Guild. And I'd like to know the name of the faction. I'd really like to know the name of the faction that hates me. So maybe if I killed them. But I think they're more or less like Cabalist guards. So I think they might have like full, like bard speed and stuff. And I think they have, just tons and tons of hit points. So I'm just going to approach them very carefully. See these guys right here? Nihilist Zegarn. And this guy here. Nihilist Yeargarn. They scowl. But this guy here, warmly. So, yeah. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Sneak. Excuse me. He still scowls, but I'm going to run around here. Alright. Try and avoid him if I can. Indifferent. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and find... There we go. Let's go in here. So this guy, this lady will not sell to me. I think she's on the same faction. Neither will this guy. This is the Mortician. Yep. So when you go, I think he is dubious. So I don't know what faction these guys are on, but you ask this guy for a mortar and pestle, he'll give it to you. So just say, I want a mortar and pestle, and he'll give it to you. So, what else? So, and then you get the book and the hammer from the Toilmaster. And that's how you do. I'm going to get rid of this crap. And I think that's about it. So what I'm going to do, I guess my plans for Constance in my free time, because I'm basically nearly max level and pretty much max AA. So what I'll do is raid and work on the Ixar Shackle quests all the way up to Timonium. And so my next video, I'm thinking, will probably be that Timonium quest. One of the things that's I'm not really looking forward to is the Sarnak Courier. That quest NPC is really annoying. I don't have a tracker to track it. So, yeah, I really, that might be a little annoying. But yeah, you need to get a certain item from the or the Sarnak Courier in order to complete the quest. Anyways, that's faction in the nutshell. You can get allied with the Ixar here, and you can do quests here. The question is, do you really need to do them? No, but I have fun doing them anyways. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.